Welcome back. We've learned a lot of important information and helpful information about financial planning and the impact that disability will have on a financial plan. So let's sort of get a little more granular. What is the impact of receiving long-term disability benefits potentially on a financial plan?
Well, if you're receiving long-term benefits from a disability policy, what we want to make sure is that, when you set up the policy, is that it's received on an after-tax basis, meaning that you make the payments with after-tax money so that when you do have a disability, it's not creating a tax problem in a disabled state. So you'd rather pay taxes when you're working and producing income as opposed to paying taxes when you're disabled and receiving a benefit. So that's a real important key, because having it on an after-tax basis can really make the long-term disability benefits go in a lot longer. Any other questions that you have on that, Nancy, or any other thoughts that come to mind to you on that?
Well, also, potentially people are applying for Social Security disability benefits because their plan or policy requires them to do that. So how is that a factor, if you will, in financial planning and the impact of perhaps redoing a financial plan?
Yeah, obviously, that when we look at financial planning, one of the biggest points that people look at is how can I prepare for being financially independent or even retirement. And so if there's long-term disability that comes into play, having other contingencies to be able to fund, like when I think about, like, a lot of people have permanent life insurance policies, and is there a waiver of premium rider on those permanent life insurance policies that can contribute cash value into the policy to keep those policies growing even in the face of a disability? That can be a big impact. One of the clients that we work with, he had a disability, and he has over six figures going into premium payments on a long-term or on a cash value policy that's building his retirement. So even though when he gets to 65 and that disability benefit is cut off, he'll have millions of dollars stashed away that he didn't contribute to because of that waiver of premium benefit in his permanent insurance policies.
That's a fantastic point. So you're thinking about the long-term disability benefits, the Social Security, life insurance. Are there any other factors that you're thinking of and considering when you have a client who becomes disabled and you're now having to either do a financial plan or redo a financial plan?
Well, yeah, another example that comes to my mind is what kind of disability is it? And if the wife is working, or if the husband's working and the other spouse is disabled, are they going to have to quit their job? And that income, they're not disabled, but that income could be gone because they're having to take care of the spouse that's now disabled. So that could disrupt it. And that's something that we need to look at from both spouses' standpoint, or both partners, if one's working and not's working, because they're now taking care of that the disability of that individual.
So what are some of the other financial concerns when applying for disability and its impact on their stream of income? Would, for example, group health insurance be something that you're considering in the financial planning? Do they have it? Who has it? Who's paying for it?
Yeah, the health insurance would be a big concern. Like, is it going to be able to stay in place? Are there issues with that? And I assume that's what you're getting at, Nancy.
Correct, right.
Yeah, and so is the health insurance going to stay in place? Are there certain requirements that are contingent upon them working such that they qualify for those group benefits?
Now, one of the things I see, particularly with executives, is that the disability policy also is tied into the pension. And by that, I mean, so long as the person continues to be disabled, the company will continue to make pension contributions at the same level at which they were being made prior to the disability. Again, is this a factor that you're considering in the financial planning or redoing a financial plan?
Yeah, that's a great point. Pensions are a rare commodity these days. And the amount of money that you can accumulate just through a pension and the amount of income that's contributed to that is going to have a major impact on somebody's financial plan. And if those contributions don't keep coming in from a pension standpoint, then that paycheck that's guaranteed for life, that's going to have an impact, because once the disability benefit comes off, maybe that could be at 65 or at 67, what's going to supplement the income at that point? So that's a huge, huge area that would want to be considered.
So obviously there's a lot of considerations and moving parts to not only creating a financial plan, but potentially having to redo one as a person becomes disabled.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how it wouldn't need to be redone.
Okay.
Such a dramatic life event like becoming disabled, I mean, that is definitely going to disrupt. I mean, it's the foundation of the financial plan.
Great. Well, let's take another break.